right. Welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Road Trip Kingdom Builders, Road Trippers, Akeem and Akatim, brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, aunties and uncles, grandmas and grandpas, everybody. Welcome back. That's right. That's right. Welcome back, man. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High, Abba Yahweh, man. Glory to Yahweh Shai. Honors to the Ruach HaKodesh. And my love and my respect goes out to each and every single one of you. That's right. Shalom. Shalom. Peace and blessings. That's right. Peace and blessings. So here we are. The book of Jasher. All right. This is going to be chapter 22. Chapter 22. It's a long one. Well, no, chapter 22 is not so long. It's chapter 23. That's long. All right. Let's see. Yep, chapter 23 is kind of a long one. So we're going to put them both together and see what we get. It's only going to be two of them, though, 22 and 23. And we'll go from there, all right? All right. You got a few moments if you want to follow along with me and bring your scrolls out just to read, because there are some names in here, right, that I'm still kind of stumbling over a few of them, you know what I mean? Some of the brothers and, so who begat, so begat, that kind of thing. Anyway, no further ado, all right, ladies and gentlemen, the book of Jasher, chapter 22. Let's begin. Chapter 22, and it reads, And Ishmael then rose up and took his wife and his children and his cattle and all belonging to him, and he journeyed from there, and he went to his father in the land of the Philistines. And Abraham related to Ishmael, his son, the transaction with the first wife that Ishmael took according to what she did. And Ishmael and his children dwelt with Abraham many days in the land, and Abraham dwelt in the land of the Philistines a long time. And the days increased and reached 26 years, and after that Abraham with his servants and all belonging to him, went from the land of the Philistines and removed to a great distance, and they came near to Hebron, and they remained there. And the servants of Abraham dug wells of water, and Abraham and all belonging to him dwelt by the water. And the servants of Abimelech king of the Philistines heard the report that Abraham's servants had dug wells of water in the borders of the land. And they came and quarreled with the servants of Abraham, and they robbed them of the great well which they had dug. And Abimelech, king of the Philistines, heard of this affair, and he with Philcol, the captain of his host, and 20 of his men came to Abraham. And Abimelech spoke to Abraham concerning his servants, and Abraham rebuked Abimelech concerning the well of which his servants had robbed him. And Abimelech said to Abraham, As the Most High lives, who created the whole earth, I did not hear of the act which my servants did unto your servants until this day. And Abraham took 7 ewe lambs, and gave them to Abimelech, saying, Take these, I pray you, from my hands, that it may be a testimony for me that I dug this well. And Abimelech took the 7 ewe lambs which Abraham had given him, for he had also given him cattle and herds in abundance. And Abimelech swore to Abraham concerning the well, therefore he called that well Beersheba, for there they both swore concerning it. And they both made a covenant in Beersheba. And Abimelech rose up with Phicol, the captain of the host, and all his men, and they returned to the land of the Philistines. And Abraham and all belonging to him dwelt in Beersheba, and he was in that land a long time. And Abraham planted a large grove in Beersheba, and he made to it 4 gates facing the 4 sides of the earth. And he planted a vineyard in it, so that if a traveler came to Abraham, he entered any gate which was in his road, and remained there, and ate and drank and satisfied himself, and then departed. For the house of Abraham was always open to the sons of men that passed and repassed, who came daily to eat and drink in the house of Abraham. And any man who had hunger and came to Abraham's house, Abraham would give him bread, that he might eat and drink and be satisfied. And anyone that came naked to his house, he would clothe with garments, as he might choose, and give him silver and gold, and make known to him the Most High who had created him in the earth. This did Abraham all his life. And Abraham and his children and all belonging to him dwelt in Beersheba, and he pitched his tent as far as Hebron. And Abraham's brother Nahor and his father and all belonging to them dwelt in Haran, for they did not come with Abraham to the land of Canaan. And children were born to Nahor, which Milcah, daughter of Haran, and sister to Sarah, Abraham's wife, bore to him. And these are the names of those that were born to him: Uz, Buz, Kemuel, Kesed, Chaso, Pildash, Tidlaph, and Bethuel, being 8 sons. These are the children of Milcah, which she bore to Nahor, Abraham's brother. All right. And Nahor had a concubine, and her name was Reumah, and she also bore to Nahor Zebka, Gekash, Takash, and Makkah, being 4 sons. And the children that were born to Nahor were 12 sons besides his daughters, and they also had children born to him in Haran. And the children of Uz, the firstborn of Nahor, were Abai, Chereph, Gadin, Melus, and Deborah, their sister. And the sons of Buz were Barachel, Namath, Sheba, and Madonu. And the sons of Kemuel were Aram and Rekob. And the sons of Kesed were Anamlech, Meshai, Benon, and Yephai. And the sons of Chaso were Pildash and Mekai and Ophir. And the sons of Pildash were Arud and Chamum and Mered and Moloch. And the sons of Tidlaf were Mushan and Kushan and Mutsai. And the children of Bethuel were Sekar, Laban, and their sister Rebekah. These were the families of the children of Nahor that were born to them in Haran. And Aram, the son of Kemuel, and Rekob, his brother, went away from Haran, and they found a valley in the land by the river Euphrates. And they built a city there, and they called the name of that city after the name of Pethor, the son of Aram, that is Aram Neheraim, unto this day. And the children of Kesed also went and dwelled there, and they could find a place, and they went, and they found a valley opposite to the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they there built themselves a city, and they called the name of that city Kesed, after the name of their father, that is the land Kasdim, unto this day. And the Kasdim dwelt in the land, and they were fruitful and multiplied exceedingly. And Terah, father of Nahor and Abraham, went and took another wife in his old age, and her name was Pelilah. And she conceived and bore him a son, and he called his name Zobah. And Terah lived 25 years after he begat Zobah. And Terah died in the year that is in the 35th year of the birth of Isaac, son of Abraham. And the days of Terah were 205 years, and he was buried in Haran. And Zobah, the son of Terah, lived 30 years, and he begat Aram, Achlis, and Marik. And Aram, son of Zobah, son of Terah, had 3 wives, and he begat 12 sons and 3 daughters. And the Most High gave to Aram, the son of Zobah, riches and possessions, and abundance of cattle and flocks and herds. And the man increased greatly. And Aram, the son of Zobah, and his brother, and all his household journeyed from Haran. And they went to dwell there, where they should find a place. For their property was too great to remain in Haran, for they could not stop in Haran, together with their brethren, the children of Nahor. And Aram, the son of Zobah, went with his brethren, and they found a valley at the distance toward the eastern country, and they dwelt there. And they also built a city there, and they called the name thereof Aram, after the name of their eldest brother, that is Aram, Zobah, to this day. And Isaac, the son of Abraham, was growing up in those days, and Abraham his father taught him the way of the Most High, to know the Most High, and the Most High was with him. And when Isaac was 37 years old, Ishmael his brother was going about with him in the tent. And Ishmael boasted of himself to Isaac, saying, I was 13 years old when the Most High spoke to my father to circumcise us, and I did according to the word of the Most High, which he spoke to my father. And I gave my soul unto the Most High, and I did not transgress his word, which he commanded my father. And Isaac answered Ishmael, saying, Why do you boast to me about this, about a little bit of your flesh, which you did take from your body, concerning which the Most High commanded you? And the Most High lives, the Elohim of my father Abraham, if the Most High should say unto my father, Take now your son Isaac, and bring him up an offering before me, I would not refrain, but I would joyfully accede to it. And the Most High heard the word that Isaac spoke to Ishmael, and it seemed good in the sight of the Most High, and he thought to try Abraham in this matter. See? So Isaac spoke this into existence. He was bragging with his brother. He said, Man, if the Most High asked my father to sacrifice me, I got no problem with it. I'd do it. So then he had to stick to that later on, right? So he spoke that into existence pretty quick, didn't he? Right, verse 46, and it reads, And the day arrived when the sons of the Most High came and placed themselves before the Most High. And Hasatan also came with the sons of Yahweh before the Most High. And the Most High said unto Hasatan, From where do you come? And Hasatan answered the Most High and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down it, right? Jamming nagas up, that's what he was doing. And the Most High said unto Hasatan, What is your word to me concerning all the children of the earth? And Hasatan answered the Most High and said, I have seen all the children of the earth who serve you and remember you when they require anything from you. But when you give them the thing which they require of you, they sit at their ease and forsake you, and they remember you no more. Have you seen Abraham, the son of Terah, who at first had no children, and he served you and erected altars to you wherever he came? And he brought up offerings upon them, and he proclaimed your name continually to all the children of the earth. And now that his son Isaac is born to him, he has forsaken you. He has made a great feast for all the inhabitants of this land, and the Most High he has forgotten. For amidst all that he has done by brought you no offering, neither burnt offering nor peace offering, neither ox, lamb, nor goat, of all that he killed on that day that his son was weaned. Even from that time of his son's birth until now, being 37 years, he built no altar before you, nor brought any offering to you. For he saw that you did give what he requested before you, and he therefore forsook you. And the Most High said to Hasatan, Have you thus considered my servant Abraham? For there is none like him upon earth, a perfect and an upright man before me, one that fears Yahweh, and avoids evil. As I live, were I to say unto him, Bring up Isaac your son before me, he would not withhold him from me. Much more, if I told him to bring up a burnt offering before me from his flock or herds. And Hasatan answered the Most High and spake, and he said, Speak then now unto Abraham, as you have said, and you will see whether he will or not this day transgress and cast aside your words. And that's the end of chapter 22. All right, that's 22. He wants to test him. He wants to test him. All right, kind of like he did Job, right? All right, chapter 23, let's continue. All right, let's go, fam. Let's see. Yeah, all right. 23, and it reads, At that time the word of the Most High came to Abraham, and he said unto him, Abraham. And he said, Here I am. And he said to him, Take now your son, your only son, whom you love, even Isaac, and go to the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which will be shown to you. For there will you see a cloud, and the glory of the Most High. And Abraham said within himself, How will I separate my son Isaac from Sarah his mother, in order to bring him up for a burnt offering before the Most High? And Abraham came into the tent, and he sat before Sarah his wife, and he spoke these words to her, My son Isaac is grown up, and he has not for some time studied the service of his Elohim. Now tomorrow I will go and bring him to Shem and Eber his son. And there he will learn the ways of the Most High, for they will teach him to know the Most High, as well as to know that when he prays continually before the Most High, he will answer him. Therefore, there he will know the way of serving the Most High his Elohim. And Sarah said, You have spoken well. Go, my Adon, and do unto him as you have said. But remove him not at a great distance from me, neither let him remain there too long. All right. For my soul is bound within his soul. And Abraham said unto Sarah, My daughter, let us pray to the Most High our Elohim, right, that he may do good with us. And Sarah took her son Isaac, and he remained all that night with her. And she kissed and embraced him, and gave him instructions until morning. And she said to him, O my son, how can my soul separate itself from you? And she still kissed him and embraced him. And she gave Abraham instructions concerning him. And Sarah said to Abraham, O my Adon, I pray you take heed of your son, and place your eyes over him, for I have no other son nor daughter but him. O forsake him not. If he be hungry, give him bread, and if he be thirsty, give him water to drink. Do not let him go on foot, neither let him sit in the sun. Neither let him go by himself in the road, neither force him from whatever he may desire, but do unto him as he may say unto you. And Sarah wept bitterly the whole night on account of Isaac, and she gave him instructions until morning. And in the morning Sarah selected a very fine and beautiful garment from those garments which she had in the house, and Abimelech had given to her. And she dressed Isaac her son therewith, and she put a turban upon his head, and she enclosed a precious stone in the top of the turban, and she gave them provision for the road. And they went out, and Isaac went with his father Abraham, and some of their servants accompanied them to see them off to the road. And Sarah went out with them, and she accompanied them upon the road to see them off. And they said to her, Return to the tent. And when Sarah heard the words of her son Isaac, she wept bitterly. And Abraham her husband wept with her, and their son wept with them a great weeping. Also those who went with them wept greatly. And Sarah caught hold of her son Isaac, and she held him in her arms, and she embraced him, and continued to weep with him. And Sarah said, Who knows if after this day I will ever see you again? And they still wept together. Abraham, Sarah, and Isaac, and all those that accompanied them on the road, wept with them, and Sarah afterward turned away from her son, weeping bitterly. And all her menservants and maidservants returned with her to the tent. And Abraham went with Isaac his son to bring him up as an offering before the Most High, as he had commanded him. And Abraham took 2 of his young men with him, Ishmael the son of Hagar, and Eleazar his servant, and they went together with them. And while they were walking in the road, the young men spoke these words to themselves. And Ishmael said to Eleazar, Now my father Abraham is going with Isaac to bring him up for a burnt offering to the Most High, as he commanded him. Now when he returns, he will give unto me all that he possesses, to inherit after him, for I am his firstborn. And Eleazar answered Ishmael and said, Surely Abraham did cast you away with your mother, and swear that you should not inherit anything of all his possessions. And to whom will he give all that he has, with all his treasures, but unto me his servant, who has been faithful in his house, who has served him night and day, and has done all that he has desired me. To me will he bequeath all. He will bequeath all his death, all that he possesses. And while Abraham was proceeding with his son Isaac along the road, Hasatan came and appeared to Abraham in the figure of a very aged man, humble and of contrite spirit. And he approached Abraham and said to him, Are you silly or brutish, that you go to do this thing this day to your only son? For Yahweh gave you a son in your latter days, in your old age. And will you go and slaughter him this day because he committed no violence? And will you cause the soul of your only son to perish from the earth? Do you not know and understand that this thing cannot be from the Most High? For the Most High cannot do unto man such evil upon earth, to say to him, Go slaughter your child. And Abraham heard this, and knew that it was the word of Hasatan, who endeavored to draw him aside from the way of the Most High. But Abraham would not hearken to the voice of Hasatan, and Abraham rebuked him, so that he went away. And Hasatan returned and came to Isaac, and he appeared unto Isaac in the figure of a young man, comely and well-favored. And he approached Isaac and said unto him, Do you not know and understand that your old silly father brings you to the slaughter this day for no reason? Now therefore, my son, do not listen nor attend to him, for he is a silly old man, and let not your precious soul and beautiful figure be lost from the earth. And Isaac heard this, and said unto Abraham, Have you heard, my father, that which this man has spoken? Even thus has he spoken. And Abraham answered his son Isaac, and said to him, Take heed of him, and do not listen to his words, nor attend to him. For he is Hasatan, endeavoring to draw us aside this day from the commands of Yahweh. And Abraham still rebuked Hasatan, and Hasatan went from them. And seeing he could not prevail over them, he hid himself from them. And he went and passed before them in the road. And he transformed himself into a large brook of water in the road. And Abraham and Isaac and his 2 sons and his 2 young men reached that place. And they saw a brook large and powerful as the mighty waters. Verse 35. And they entered the brook and passed through it, and the waters at first reached their legs, and they went deeper in the brook, and the waters reached up to their necks, and they were all terrified on account of the water. And while they were going over the brook, Abraham recognized that place, and he knew that there was no water there before. And Abraham said to his son Isaac, I know this place, in which there was no brook nor water. Now therefore it is this Hasatan who does all this to us, to draw us aside this day from the commands of Yahweh. And Abraham rebuked him, and said unto him, The Most High rebuke you, O Hasatan, be gone from us, for we go by the commands of Yahweh. And Hasatan was terrified at the voice of Abraham, and he went away from them, and the place again became dry land as it was at first. And Abraham went with Isaac toward the place that Yahweh had told him. And on the 3rd day Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw the place at the distance which Yahweh had told him of. And a pillar of fire appeared to him, that reached from the earth to heaven, and a cloud of glory upon the mountain. And the glory of the Most High was seen in the cloud. And Abraham said to Isaac, My son, do you see in that mountain which we perceive at a distance, that which we see upon it? And Isaac answered and said unto his father, I see, and behold, a pillar of fire and a cloud, and the glory of the Most High is seen upon the cloud. And Abraham knew that his son Isaac was accepted before the Most High for a burnt offering. And Abraham said to Eleazar and unto Ishmael his son, Do you also see that which we see upon the mountain, which is at a distance? And they answered and said, We see nothing more than like the other mountains of the earth. And Abraham knew that they were not accepted before the Most High to go with them. And Abraham said to them, Abide here with the ass, while I and Isaac my son will go to yonder mount, and worship there before the Most High, and then return to you. And Eleazar and Ishmael remained in that place, and as Abraham had commanded. And Abraham took wood for a burnt offering, and placed it upon his son Isaac. And he took the fire and the knife, and they both went to that place. And when they were both going along, Isaac said to his father, Behold, I see here the fire and wood, and where then is the lamb that is to be the burnt offering before the Most High? And Abraham answered his son Isaac, saying, The Most High has made choice of you, my son, to be a perfect burnt offering instead of the lamb. And Isaac said unto his father, I will do all that the Most High spoke to you, with joy and cheerfulness of heart. And Abraham again said unto Isaac his son, Is there in your heart any thought or counsel concerning this, which is not proper? Tell me, my son, I pray you. O my son, conceal it not from me. And Isaac answered his father Abraham and said unto him, O my father, as the Most High lives, and as your soul lives, there is nothing in my heart to cause me to deviate either to the right or to the left from the word that has been spoken to you. Neither limb nor muscle has moved or stirred at this, nor is there in my heart any thought or evil counsel concerning this. But I am of joyful and cheerful heart in this matter, and I say, Blessed is the Most High, who has this day chosen me to be a burnt offering before him. And Abraham greatly rejoiced at the words of Isaac, and they went on and came together to the place that the Most High had spoken of. And Abraham approached to build the altar in that place. And Abraham was weeping, and Isaac took stones and mortar until they had finished building the altar. And Abraham took the wood and placed it in order upon the altar which he had built. And he took his son Isaac and bound him in order to place him upon the wood which was upon the altar, to slay him for a burnt offering before the Most High. And Isaac said to his father, Bind me securely, and then place me upon the altar, lest I should turn and move and break loose from the force of the knife upon my flesh, and thereof profane the burnt offering. And Abraham did so. And Isaac still said to his father, O my father, when you will have slain me and burnt me for an offering, take with you that which will remain of my ashes to bring to Sarah my mother, and say to her, This is the sweet-smelling savor of Isaac. But do not tell her this if she should sit near a well upon any high place, lest she should cast her soul after me and die. And Abraham heard the words of Isaac, and he lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac spoke these words, and Abraham's tears gushed down upon Isaac his son. And Isaac wept bitterly, and he said to his father, Hasten you, O my father, and do with me the will of the Most High our Elohim, as he has commanded you. Verse 64. And the hearts of Abraham and Isaac rejoiced at this thing which the Most High had commanded them, but the eye wept bitterly, while the heart rejoiced. And Abraham bound his son Isaac, and placed him on the altar upon the wood. And Isaac stretched out his neck upon the altar before his father. And Abraham stretched out his hand to take the knife, to slay his son as a burnt offering before the Most High. At that time the angels of mercy came before the Most High, and spoke to him concerning Isaac, saying, O Adonai, you are a merciful and compassionate king over all that you have created in heaven and in earth, and you support them all. Give therefore ransom and redemption instead of your servant Isaac, and pity and have compassion upon Abraham and Isaac his son, who are this day performing your commands. Have you seen, O Yahweh, O Most High, how Isaac the son of Abraham your servant is bound down to the slaughter like an animal? Now therefore let your pity be roused for them, O Most High, O Yahweh. At that time the Most High appeared unto Abraham, and called to him from heaven, and said unto him, Lay not your hand upon the lad, neither do you anything unto him. For now I know that you fear the Most High, in performing this act, and in not withholding your son, your only son, from me. And Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw, and behold, a ram was caught in a thicket by his horns. That was the ram which the Most High Elohim had created in the earth in that day that he made the earth and heaven. For the Most High had prepared this ram from that day to be a burnt offering instead of Isaac. And this ram was advancing to Abraham when Hasatan caught hold of him and entangled his thorns in the thicket, that he might not advance to Abraham, in order that Abraham might slay his son. And Abraham, seeing the ram advancing to him, and Hasatan withholding him, fetched him and brought him before the altar. And he loosened his son Isaac from his binding, and he put the ram in his stead. And Abraham killed the ram upon the altar, and brought it up as an offering in the place of his son Isaac. And Abraham sprinkled some of the blood of the ram upon the altar, and he exclaimed and said, This is the place of my son And may this be considered this day as the blood of my son before the Most High. And all that Abraham did on this occasion by the altar, he would exclaim and say, This is in the room of my son, and it may this day be considered before the Most High in the place of my son. And Abraham finished the whole of the service by the altar, and the service was accepted before the Most High, and was accounted as if it had been Isaac. And the Most High blessed Abraham and his seed on that day. And Hasatan went to Sarah, and he appeared to her in the figure of an old man, very humble and meek. And Abraham was yet engaged in the burnt offering before the Most High. And he said unto her, Do you not know all the work that Abraham has made with your son, with your only son this day? For he took Isaac and built an altar, and killed him, and brought him up as a sacrifice upon the altar. And Isaac cried and wept before his father, but he looked not at him, neither did he have compassion over him. And Hasatan repeated these words, and he went away from her. And Sarah heard all the words of Hasatan, and she imagined him to be an old man from among the sons of men who had been with her son, and had come and told her these things. And Sarah lifted up her voice and wept and cried out bitterly on account of her son. And she threw herself upon the ground, and she cast dust upon her head. And she said, O my son, Isaac, my son, O that I had this day died instead of you. And she continued to weep and said, It grieves me for you, O my son, Isaac, O that I had died this day in your stead. Verse 80, and it reads, And she still continued to weep and said, It grieves me for you, after that I have reared you and have brought you up. Now my joy is turned into mourning over you. I that had a longing for you, and cried and prayed to Yahweh, until I bare you at 90 years old, and now have you served this day for the knife, and the fire, to be made an offering. But I console myself with you, my son, and its being the word of the Most High. For you did perform the command of your Elohim. For who can transgress the word of our Elohim, and whose hand it is the soul of every living creature? You are just, O Yahweh, our Elohim, for all your works are good and righteous. For I also am rejoiced with your word, which you did command. And while mine eyes weep bitterly, my heart rejoices. And Sarah laid her head upon the bosom of one of her handmaids, and she became as still as a stone. And afterward rose up and went about making inquiries, until she came to Hebron. And she inquired of all those whom she met walking in the road, and no one could tell her what had happened to her son. And she came with her maidservants and menservants to Kereth Arba, which is in Hebron, and she asked concerning her son. And she remained there while she sent some of her servants to seek where Abraham had gone with Isaac. And they went to seek him in the house of Shem and Eber, and they could not find him. And they sought throughout the land, and he was not there. And behold, Hasatan came to Sarah in the shape of an old man. And he came and stood before her. And he said unto her, I spoke falsely unto you, for Abraham did not kill his son, and he is not dead. And when she heard the word, her joy was so exceedingly violent on account of her son, that her soul went out through joy. She died, and was gathered to her people. Wow. And when Abraham had finished his service, he returned with his son Isaac to his young men. And they rose up and went together to Beersheba. And they came home, and Abraham sought for Sarah, and could not find her. And he made inquiries concerning her. And they said unto him, She went as far as Hebron to seek you both where you had gone, for thus was she informed. And Abraham and Isaac went to her to Hebron, and when they found that she was dead, they lifted up their voices and wept bitterly over her. And Isaac fell upon his mother's face and wept over her. And he said, O my mother, how have you left me? And where have you gone? Oh, how have you left me? And Abraham and Isaac wept greatly, and all their servants wept with them on account of Sarah. And they mourned over her a great and heavy mourning. And that's the end of chapter 23. So Sarah's dead. Sarah passed. She's gone now out of grief. Her heart just couldn't take it anymore. And so she passed. All right. That's the end of chapter 23. 24 is long. So we're going to put that aside. So 22 and 23 on this one. We'll come back and we'll maybe get some more a little bit later on. All right. But anyway, thanks for being with me on this ride. Thanks for being with me on this road, Kingdom Builders Road Trippers. I appreciate every single one of you, brothers and sisters. Akim and Akatim. That's right, man. Shalom and shalom. Peace and blessings to your home, your dwelling places. And in the meantime, in between time, go in peace. All right. Until I see you again. All praises to the Most High. All praises to Yahweh. I love y'all. Yep. That's right.